we're leaving my office here, which is called the Hemingway House, a high-rise that was built in the late 60s. But in the mid-60s, it was the site of the original Second City. And Second City moved to North and Wells, where it is now. And the high-rise was built. We're on Lincoln and Wells, where Lincoln begins and Wells ends, or vice versa. And we're headed, right now we're headed south into the Old Town area. This is semi-commercial. It'll become more commercial as we approach North Avenue. And then it's very commercial south of North Avenue, which technically isn't in Lincoln Park. There's Nookie's over there, a very, very popular restaurant, particularly for breakfast.
I eat there weekly when I first moved to Chicago 35 years ago.
When I had my nightclub, I used to eat there 2 and 3 times a day, just to get away from my club.
For some of your old fans, that was the Bulls.
That's right, that was the Bulls. And my involvement with the Bulls, by the way, between being a customer, an employee, or an owner, was almost 25 of its 35-year longevity.
These are old icons of Lincoln Park. Treasure Island.
Treasure Island, which is one of the first major food stores in Lincoln Park. Jewel was the other, which was back where the Belden Corned Beef Center is. This is the site of the new Second City, Piper's Alley, which of course was back in the 60s a very, very important part. It was Chicago's Haight-Ashbury. North Avenue here, which we're on right now, separates the two communities of Lincoln Park to our right and the near north side to our left. I'm going to turn into the residential area of Old Town because the homes are so unique. Beautiful old 19th century homes built in some cases before and immediately after the Chicago fire. I do want to point out that the neighborhood organization, the Old Town Triangle Association, keeps a very, very tight rein on what can or cannot be built and renovated as far as these homes are concerned. They have to, developers or purchasers of homes in this area here have to abide by some very, very strict rules. This 306 was purchased by clients of mine. This is 306 Concord, by the way. And
now it's a single-story workers' cottage. What does something like that sell for, Lino?
Well, they purchased it for $600,000. Right now, I think it would probably be worth, again, considering how small it is, probably be worth in excess of $1 million. Maybe 1.1 or so would be my seat of the pants guess. Again, what I do want to point out about the street is that, save for 4+1s or these types of townhomes that popped up during the 60s, most of the homes here in Old Town are, again, tightly controlled by the Old Town Triangle Association's Historic Designation Committee.
This is both a city and a National Register landmark district, is
Absolutely,
it not?
Yes. This is Twin Acres, very, very well known, and it's been here for years and years. It's very well known for its ribs, and also a couple of movies have been shot here as well, too. Jumping from 150-year-old history to more contemporary, on our left is the Lasalle Language Laboratory, a public school, a school that's extremely difficult to get into, I understand. And many times when we're selling property in the neighborhood, we list the schools that the schools that are in the area of the property we've listed. Again, we're still cutting through Old Town here, and you can see the high-rises in the distance that were built in the late 60s and early 70s. But then here you can also see these homes here. I think Rick Hogan lived here. And this is St. Paul Street, and row homes, and particularly
We're looking at streets, aren't we, that were laid out before the advent of the automobile?
yes, indeed.
So,
and this is Curly Court, by the way.
let's get out of the car and take a look quickly if we can, because
sure, why not?
this is
All right.
will block traffic.
Let me back up and find a nice illegal spot to
Because
park.
again, I think parts of Curly Court are landmarked also, aren't they?
They are indeed. In fact, all of the buildings on the right are historic landmark. Now, these homes are very, very expensive, even though, except for the end units, I don't believe they have any parking. I sold one of the interior ones. The Chicago Historical Society, now the Chicago History Museum, was given the building, and they asked me to sell it for them. This was about 8 or 10 years ago. It sold in a heartbeat, even though it needed a total gut renovation.